Welcome. Today you're going to be making Bodacious beef biscuits, and I hope they're yummy. I've never made them before. The ingredients you're going to be needing that you can see on your recipe, a biscuit, and I buy the jumbo ones, a 1/4 pound of ground beef. I'm going to be making mine for my family, so I'm going to be using a little bit more. You're also going to need a cup of shredded cheddar. My family started eating all of the cheddar, so I had to go through all of our cheese containers and try to find exactly the right amount for this recipe. So I have just about a 1/2 cup already ready there. A cup of ketchup, brown sugar, onion powder, which I did not have onion powder, but I did have fresh onion. So I just used my little Google and I researched how to substitute onion powder for fresh onion, and it told me about the right amount considering what I was using it for. So I have just the right amount of onion. So I won't be measuring out the onion powder during this episode of Cooking with Karla, but you will be. So the very first step on your recipe is to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. So I'm gonna get my oven preheated over here to 350 and get that going. Come on now. And then it also says, number 2, heat a skillet over low heat and brown that beef, breaking it up with a fork, okay? So I've already started mine, kind of going a little bit. You can use a fork. I'm gonna try mine a little bit with my spoon here, and if I need to get a fork to get them into smaller pieces, I will. So we're gonna let this brown a little bit, and once it's finished, we will come back. Okay, so while the beef is browning, step 3 says while beef is browning, mix ketchup, brown sugar, and onion powder in small mixing bowl to make sauce. You're going to be doing that. I, however, have that fresh onion, and I want to get that going in with my beef. So my recipe is looking a little bit different than yours is going to. So now we're going to come back over here, and this is where we're going to be mixing, getting a small bowl to make the sauce. So the very first ingredient is ketchup, and it calls for 1 cup of ketchup. So you would want to use a liquid measuring cup. What I have out is a dry measuring cup. I think it's going to be okay. I'm trying to get this lickety split going, and I hope that I have enough ketchup. I probably need to buy more ketchup here soon. A lot of ketchup. Come on now, sister. Okay, if I take my, kind of smooth it around, you can see that that is a cup. So that's going to be going in. Probably a knife is not the smartest choice for scraping this. I think you guys know what is the best thing to scrape this. That's right, it's a rubber scraper. Okay, so I'm not as great of chefs as you are, so. Okay, so that is that. Next ingredient is brown sugar, and it calls for 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. So I got my nifty tablespoon and my leveler here, which you guys have a fancy leveler. If for some reason you did not have a tablespoon measuring, 1 tablespoon equals 3 teaspoons. So I'm going to pack it down in there and then level it off. Okay, 1 tablespoon brown sugar. Then that's it. So now I'm going to mix her all up like so. I'm just going to use my measuring spoon. No sense dirtying another one because I don't have to use it again here. I got a chunk of my brown sugar in here, so I'm going to keep mixing it around, and this is going to make a little sauce here. I'm going to read ahead in my recipe, and it says step 4 is add sauce to skillet. Well, I don't want to add the sauce to skillet unless my hamburger is already cooked, and we will know that it's cooked because there's going to be no pink left in it. So if we look over here, there's definitely a lot of pink in there, so we have a long ways to go. So I will come back to you in just 1 moment. so now you can see that the hamburger is nice and browned. There's no pink spots in there. If there is a little bit of pink, you want to keep cooking it. Okay. The next step says to add sauce to skillet. So I'm going to add my sauce here. Excuse me, I'm going to go throw that over there. Add my sauce to the skillet. Again, probably a rubber scraper would be the better option, Mrs. Woodson. But I am making this recipe after I've been working all day. It's kind of tiring. Okay, so I'm going to mix that up. And it is on low, so I'm not at risk for it really starting to scorch or burn. That's Lucy in the background. Okay. Kind of reminds me almost of like Sloppy Joe's. Smells like it because it has that ketchup in it. Okay, then the next step says to lightly spray muffin tins with Pam. And I want to point out that in the muffin pan, we're going to make a cup out of the muffins or the biscuits. So the biscuit is probably going to go over on this edge a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and spray pretty much the whole pan. So I want to get some of the oven spray even up here so that the biscuit that's up here isn't going to stick to there either. Now it is an oil spray, so I don't want to go and spray it all over my counter because then what's going to happen here is I'm going to have oil all over my counter, and that's very difficult to clean up. So I'm going to kind of hold it over my sink here so that the oil goes in the sink instead. I hope I just didn't get a video recorder. Okay, then comes the fun part. We take our biscuits, gotta open them. Gotta be smarter than the biscuit can. Here we go. And remember, the directions tell us we use a spoon. That scared me just a little bit. A spoon, but we didn't have to. But you know, my way is always just jamming it, banging it on the edge of the counter. Okay, so now I've got my biscuit, and I'm gonna just kind of mold it with my hands into a cup here. And I don't want to just sit it in there. I want it to go, because I want to get as much meat in there as possible. So just kind of work it. Some of you were curious what Lucy looks like in her diaper. Here's Lucy in her diaper. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Lucy. She's just wanting to eat. She's hoping that I drop something. Okay, so I'm going to kind of work it so I get my muffin in there. My biscuit, rather, into my muffin pan. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with all 4 of our biscuits. I'm going to do another one here just to show you. If you tear it, the beautiful thing about biscuits is you can kind of smush it back together, so it's no big deal. Better to have it over than too small. And you'll feel it kind of almost like a rubber band trying to go back in, because that's part of that oil kind of dragging it along. That's okay. Okay, so I'm going to do that with all 4. And then the next step is to fill each cup with a little beef mixture. I'm using the wrong spoon because it has slots, so bear with me. Look at that yumminess. And then it says to top with a sprinkle of cheese. Boop. Bippity boppity boo. There we go. We've got our sprinkle of cheese. I'm going to finish making the rest of them, and then we'll stick them in the oven for, the recipe says, 10 to 12 minutes. So we'll be back here in just a moment. Okay. They actually baked in my oven. It ended up being about 15 minutes. So every oven's different, so it kind of depends on what your oven cooks like. So as you're Setting the timer for 10 minutes, I would check, and you can see that the biscuit's kind of getting brown. It's hard to tell with the sauce, but the biscuit's starting to get brown. So you're gonna want to just watch that. If it looks like, okay, it's still really doughy, then put it in a couple more minutes. Like I said, mine was about 15 minutes, so we're gonna go eat and enjoy, and I will report back to you to let you know how they were. Bye.
Gonna put the world away for a minute, pretend I don't live in it. Sunshine gonna wash my blues away. Had sweet love, but I lost it. She got too close, so I fought it. Now I'm lost in the world, trying to find me a better way. Wishing I was deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze and it don't seem fair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise.
Wrote a note, said be back in a minute. Bought a boat and I sailed off in it. Don't think anybody's gonna miss me anyway. Mind on a permanent vacation. The ocean is my only medication. Wishing my condition ain't ever gonna go away.
Cause now I'm deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze blowing wind through my hair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise. This champagne shore washing over me.
It's a sweet, sweet life, living by the salty sea.
One day you could be as lost as me.
Change your geography, maybe you might be.
Knee deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze blowing wind through my hair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise. Come on in, the water's nice. Find yourself a little slice. Grab a backpack and lunch. You never know until you try. When you lose yourself,
You find the key to paradise.